So it was a very big adjustment for me, and that's another thing with the autism. Now, yet another thing the autism has brought to my personality is an interest in technology, like video games and computers and stuff like that. I started playing video games when I was 4 years old. I started playing the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo. Those two game systems taught me how to read, basically. And like every other kid my age, I grew up shooting ducks. That is, playing Duck Hunt on my brother's old Nintendo that he had chosen to leave at our grandmother's house after he got the Super Nintendo, which was at our house. Also, my uncle, who is now a radio host, he had a Sega Genesis when I was a little kid. And I used to play games on that too, like Sonic and The Lion King. Those were the days. Now, nowadays, I still struggle. And there are certain things that sometimes I'll say something and I know what I mean by it, but I can't possibly explain it in a way that other people will understand, and it's something that the way I do explain it, the person gets the completely wrong idea. I have a friend that I have known since the mid-90s, when I was a small child. He is a singer. He does children's music, but he also does adult music as well. I met him through his children's gigs, obviously. He was doing a show at our local safety village for the organization that helped the kids with physical disabilities, because I have cerebral palsy, as I previously mentioned, in addition to the autism. And I was just learning to walk at the time. And even though... Now, I have seen this man in concert. I saw him twice when I was a child. There was the one that happened in 95 when I was 4. And then there was another one in 2000 when I was 9. That was at the library at my sister's school. And even though he hadn't seen me in 5 years, he still remembered who I was. 10 years after that, in 2010, I sent the man an email. I told him about what I remembered, and I said, well, I know it's been a long time and you probably don't remember me, but I'll send you this picture and it might jog your memory, although I won't count on it. It's okay if you don't remember me. But he says that he didn't really know who I was from the email itself, but as soon as he saw the picture, it hit him. Which I was very surprised and pleased at, because he said he didn't really remember the second time I saw him in 2000. He only remembered the 1995 meeting, which was 15 years prior at that point, so I was quite astonished. And, actually, this man wrote me a adult oriented song when I turned 20, which was 5 years ago. And it wasn't originally intended as a birthday present, but that's when it happened to be done. 'Cause we'd been having a conversation about tough stuff, and I was upset about something, and my birthday slipped out. And he's like, "Oh, I'll have your song written by the time it's your birthday." So that's when he sent it to me, and I've been listening to it from time to time ever since. As you guys can probably tell from my shirt, and my lanyard here, I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of Pokemon. I've been playing since it first came out in 1998. And as of the night I write this video, it's going to only be about a week and a half until the original Game Boy games are released on 3DS Virtual Console. And that's gonna be really cool because apparently there's going to be trading of Pokemon possible through the 3DS local wireless. That's probably why it took so long for that to be released, because the original trading was done through a link cable, and I can imagine how hard it would be to reprogram the game to read the wireless signals instead of a physical link cable. I'm very advanced in my intelligence, and I do research on a lot of different topics. I'm very, very intelligent, but it might not have shown itself when I was in school because I did have some essential level courses, essential being the lowest of the 3 levels of difficulty that were offered in my local high school district. Let me just say, however, that particularly in math, I think my ability might have been underestimated because I had this one teacher. I failed her class in the first year. That was grade 10 essential. And in the second year, I passed at the top of the class. And after that semester finished, I had a couple of days where I was very, very upset, and I was very upset, and I was screaming, and she came out of her classroom, and she said she can come into my room for a few minutes to calm down. Well, needless to say, a few minutes turned into the whole morning. Yeah, I stayed with her the whole morning, and in her second period class, she had grade 11 university level functions. I was in grade 11 at the time, technically. And even though I was 2 levels behind and 1 grade behind, I understood about half of the given lesson that I might have sat in on. So either that teacher was a genius, or my math skills had been underestimated, as I previously mentioned. Yeah, life with autism can be pretty darn crazy, but hey, what else can you do? If that's your diagnosis, you gotta learn to live with it, I guess.